FatBoy Entertainment.
Last night, in case you missed it, Donald John Trump, the 45th president of these United States, of our grand and glorious republic, absolutely nailed it, knocked it out of the park with what can only be described as an epic performance before the joint Congress. Not the State of the Union, but the message, the address, the meeting, the first before the joint Congress, where no one in that entire room, save for his family and maybe his invited guests, in any way liked him, preferred him, cared for him, hoped he did okay. Without a doubt, it was enemy territory, because he is not a Republican and he sure as hell ain't a Democrat. In fact, the Democrats aren't the Democrats. He was presidential. Now, this is a term that people throw around, especially from the cartoon, alt-left, fake news media, cartoon anti-Trump contingent, who really don't know anything about really much of anything. And they don't know what to say. They just say, was he presidential? Did he act presidential? Was he presidential? Does he have the ability to move back the attack? See, every now and then when Trump, the president, was running for, when he was running, and to an extent now, when somebody said something, he fought back. Lately, if you notice, he's been saying, the Twitter biting is certainly there. But if you recall, one of the things which was the most brilliant that he did was during the Oscars, he didn't respond. He didn't do anything. He just kind of had their own party. He just ignored them. Drove them crazy. So what he did was he basically ignored his detractors. And I guess perhaps subsumed under the collective rubric of whether he was indeed presidential, he acted more like the mature adult. He just proceeded forward in a magnificent speech, which I will get to. If the Democratic Party continues under this "we don't like Trump" business, or Trump's no good, or Trump is not a good president, or Trump is a racist or a fascist or whatever, or a misanthrope, or a misogynist, or a xenophobe, or an Islamophobe, or whatever your particular iteration of that is, if that was your take after last night, you are royally, and you know the verb. You know that grand F-bomb sortie. You know it. If that's what you had. Because last night, it was magnificent. Remember in the old days, when there was a concert, like in the 70s or maybe the early 80s, when concerts really mattered, where there really were musicians? You were in an arena, and you were waiting for hours. And all of a sudden, the lights go off. And you feel this organic. It's like you're a part of a circuit. You've just been placed into some circuit board. And you are now a part of this lighting system, where instead of Christmas tree lights, you are the bulb. You are a part of this. And you can't wait. And you've been waiting for this. And it builds up and it builds up. That's what last night was. You wonder, can Trump do this? Can he go from being Donald Trump to being the president? Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, JFK, FDR, Donald Trump? Because I still couldn't see it until last night. Until last night. I had to see it. I had to see it for myself. I had to see what it looks like when there he was. Trump puts people in you, in your head. He puts them in you, in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, in your mind's eye, in your frame of reference, and he puts them in, and he says, this is what the issue looks like. The issue looks like this. It doesn't look like some heady type of thing. It looks like this. This man, this black American happens to be But this wasn't some lily white Kiwanis Club, boardroom-looking group of people. This was a perfect mosaic, a pastiche of American heterogeneity. And what he did was he basically looked at these folks and said, this is the face of what happens when illegal immigrants, some, not all, but when bad people are let in and bad people are not vetted. And this is what you get. The broken heart of this brave and proud man who lost his son to somebody who was allowed in by a government who let you down and didn't do its job. How perfect. You can't get better than that. The young girl who had Pompeii syndrome, just to see this young lady. And Trump had a great style. Speaking of stagecraft, slowed down the read, believed in the words, said their names delicately. This was a great. Did you notice that technique? When I say to you, we have today Sergeant Major Donald Wordsworth. No, that's nice. That's appropriate. But if I say we have today before you Sergeant Major Donald Wordsworth, it's a reverence to the name. It's a framing of the name. It's a respect. It's what he did. And he introduced us to these people. But when he got to Corinne, he said, Owens, wife of fallen Navy SEAL Ryan Owens, that was magnificent. She was either, by the way, it's true, no false flag, nothing phony. Her husband, she was, those pictures of her over the casket of her, the flag draped casket of her beloved husband, were perfect in conveying the horror of the event. Capra couldn't do better. Spielberg couldn't do better by taking an event and making it cinematic through political and psychological and realistic stagecraft and artistic platforming. When she received over a 2-minute rounding, standing ovation, and when she folded her hands and looked up, that was it. It was such a beautiful moment because it requires no editing. If you ever were to show that and try to exploit it, don't. Maybe a little music, but don't touch anything. It was perfect. It was so, the tears, the look. By the way, followed by, or near, I forget what came first, the look of despair in that father who never should have to bury a son. Poignant, beautiful, absolutely perfect. From this man that everybody says is boorish and churlish and rude and egomaniacal and egocentric and teeming with, this hubristic gluttony and no. That moment, that was it. How he said the names. Watch it again. Watch it.
The challenges we face as a nation are great, but our people are even greater. And none are greater or braver than those who fight for America in uniform. We are blessed to be joined tonight by Corinne Owens, the widow of U.S. Navy Special Operator, Senior Chief William Ryan Owens. Ryan died as he lived, a warrior and a hero, battling against terrorism and securing our nation. We are removing gang members, drug dealers, and criminals that threaten our communities and prey on our very innocent citizens. Bad ones are going out as I speak, and as I've promised throughout the campaign. To any in Congress who do not believe we should enforce our laws, I would ask you this one question. What would you say to the American family that loses their jobs, their income, or their loved one because America refused to uphold its laws and defend its borders? Our obligation is to serve, protect, and defend the citizens of the United States. We are also taking strong measures to protect our nation from radical Islamic terrorism.
I'm so far out of sight. Yeah, that sounds about right. Kill this cup, not my vibe. Be the highlight of my night.
FatBoyMixx.